Kenny from Love Island is a perfect example of how everyone feels entitled to Black women's labor.
Hey lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Strana. Thank you so much for all the love and support. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate each and every one of us. You guys are the real MVPs. So lovelies, I came across this video on my For You and I thought to share because I actually find this Kenny and Jenna's relationship controversy a very interesting topic to talk about, to actually show how the anti-racists, especially in the Dominican Republic, is something that really needs to be talked about. Lovelies, I'm just going to roll the clip because I think it's happened that this Kenya of a guy decided to use a black woman and her popularities to get himself to a kind of level and decided to discard her. Even though he feels that he's not the kind of guy that can even date a black woman. Lovelies, I'm just going to roll the clip, as well as some of other stitches I was able to put together. Please leave me your own thought.
The stuff coming out about Kenny does not surprise me at all because a Latino being anti-black, kind of on brand, honestly. And I'm like very pro-Latina, but like being pro-Latina is like calling out the shit within our community, and our community can be very anti-black. This is a perfect example, and this is why I don't blame black women for only wanting to date black men, because it's like they're like put in these like horrible situations. And this is also why I understand why black women kind of side-eye black men who only date outside of their race, because yeah, stuff like this, it's like a lot of times when it comes to non-black people, and I noticed this, I'm gonna clock it, I noticed this with a lot of Latinas, they'll fetishize black men, it's like those types of Latinas that like say the N-word all the time and specifically only date black men and get box braids, you know what I'm talking about? But it's like in the same breath you do all that and then they're anti-black, or they don't call out the racism in their family and stuff like that. Like, it's just so I don't know. And I'm not saying that like black people can't be prejudiced towards Latino, that doesn't happen. I get it, but like we're not talking about that. What we're talking about is there is a very like serious like issue within our communities of just being anti-black and colorist. That the whole saying of like, when browner skin Latinos, like during the summertime when they're told like, oh, don't go outside, you'll get darker. Huh? Or hay que mejorar la raza. Huh? Or güeritos más bonitos. Huh? I think it's like we really need to make an effort as a community to start calling out our shit, okay? And honestly, I just feel so bad for Janae because she is such a beautiful, wonderful, that is a baddie, and she deserves so much better. So yeah, I hate Kenny.
So I've heard from sources, and multiple sources are reporting it now, that not only his friends but Kenny's family were all degrading Janae, and Kenny's family were convincing Kenny to stay in a relationship, and he was telling them that I can't do this anymore, I've never wanted to do this, I don't want to do this for the money anymore, I want to leave. You also have the fact that Kenny called Janae a black bitch, and he also stated that he doesn't even like black people, so that he's shocked that he even ended up with a black woman anyways, and he was saying this to his friends. And then Kenny's friends were basically calling her the N-word, and he was laughing in response, and the family are not a fan of her, don't like her, and basically were telling Kenny to use her for money, as much as money as he can get, and then obviously run from the relationship. And that she saw these screenshots on his phone, and after that chaos ensued. Now it makes sense as to why Peacock, Ariana Madix all unfollowed him after all of this that they have now seen. This is demonic behavior, the psychological torture that Janae is going through, the PTSD for years to come, the financial abuse for all the money that he has made off her name. It is truly diabolical. None of this is funny. These people have real lives. It's not just a TV show. And I've heard this from confirmed sources myself. Dumois just posted something quite similar, and people have been saying stuff quite similar as well. This is why Leah and Serena called him a racist clout demon earlier today, because it is honestly disgusting. The family, but didn't Janae and Kenny go to a wedding together? Didn't Janae meet the family? But the family behind are plotting on her back. The friends are calling her an N-word and he's laughing. him calling her a black bitch. What the hell is going on? This is demonic, man. You never can win when you're dirty, guys. You never can win when you are dirty. This is insane.
Kenny from Love Island is a perfect example of how everyone feels entitled to black women's labor. Before you start typing, it's not that deep. We do critical thinking over here, so you can do all of that. My synapses aren't firing on somebody else's fucking account. Now, Kenny is the perfect example of feeling entitled to black women's labor, but never feeling deserving of their wrath. He used this girl. And most people, you would think, oh, I don't like black women. I know that to be a fact. Therefore, I'm not going to pretend to fall in love with one. I may pretend to fall in love with somebody, but who did he think would fall back in love with him and create a brand for him, essentially, right? Like, the way that we think about Kenny's name being said is from Jana. But once revealed to be an adulterer, a racist, and a clout chaser, his response to the outrage, right, from the public or people wanting to know what was going on was to immediately try to frame Jana as, like, irrational by saying, look at me, I'm the person with the calm level head, I just wish her the best. Which, like, one, if you wish her the best, why weren't you the best for her? And secondarily, it kind of says your job is done here, people already know who I am. He thought that he was going to come out of this unscathed because Janae's job was not to fall in love or become a wife or do any of the things that she wanted to do in this relationship. To Kenny, Janae's job was to get him and maintain his popularity. Because black women going through turmoil or struggling has become so normalized, Kenny would have never done this to someone who was not a black woman, right? Because people would immediately see the wrong in that. But because Jana is a black woman, particularly a dark-skinned black woman, he thought that he could just use her and then move on because people are used to seeing that happen to women like Jana.
There's so many ways and so many questions I have in regards to the Kenny case. Like, my first thought is like, you know how different you got to be to commit to this sort of act, knowing your views on black women and black people. Like, bro, you're different if you can do that. Like, what's crazy is you could have got your own money and your own fame in your own right. Like, look at what season 7 people who had 10 minutes doing. They turned that into 20. And so, like, the fact that you chose to pair up and commit to this act with a black woman, knowing your views on black women and black people, like, bro, you not only did you fuck your bag up, but like, you a different level of sick.
So next time when we tell you that someone's being a racist or they said something racist and you tell us, well, they can't be a racist, they got a black girlfriend. They can't be a racist, they have interracial children. They can't be racist, they have a black friend. Will you shut the fuck up now? Will you shut the fuck up now and listen to us? Unfortunately, closeness to blackness does not make that person any less racist. I wish, you would think, right? If you love someone who's black, or you've given birth to black children, or you have a best friend or a childhood friend who's black, or, you know, your doctor was a black man and they cured your cancer, you'd think it would make them not be racist. It would make them think before they say racist things. You would think, but no, we know this. So please listen to us when we tell you that someone's being racist, instead of trying to like discount that, deny that because, you know, they got a black girlfriend. So next,
if I had to date outside of my race, I would date a white man before I dated a Hispanic or an Asian man. Here's why. Now, what made me think of this is obviously the Kenny and Janae situation, but I really want to talk about internalized hate within Hispanic communities. Mind you, the majority of them, especially Dominicans, are of African descent. However, they don't see themselves that way, and they don't see the people that they date that way either. Now, I don't want to just, you know, get on Hispanic men. And of course, this is not all people. Like, don't be dense and assume that I'm talking about every Hispanic or every Asian person. That would be harmful and also would be incorrect. However, what I'm saying is a lot of them can date you and still feel like in some way that they're better than you because they're lighter than you. Or a lot of them will be like, you know, that whole, I'm not black, I'm Dominican. It's really anything that they can say they are that is not black. Anything. And you will see that also in some black people who are like, you know, maybe like mixed with Native American. They'll be like, I'm Native American, I'm not black. That is a real problem. And now that we've said that, I also would rather date a white man than a Native American. That's another topic for another day that people do not talk about, is how racist Native Americans can be towards black people. And some people might say that's not racism because they're a minority group and they don't hold like power per se. So stay prejudiced if that makes you feel better. However, with white men, they know they're white. They're not trying to pretend to be anything else. They already stand at a point of privilege, and they already know that we're crossing a racial barrier here. There's no question of like, we're not the same. However, it is this kind of delusion of people who interracially date, especially if it's a black and a Hispanic or Asian or Native American dynamic. There's this idea that you start formulating in your head that because we have this proximity, we have these kind of shared ethnic traumas. They're not really shared, and also they're not the same. And another thing is that does not mean that they have solidarity towards black struggles. I took a race, class, and gender philosophy course in college, and my main thing is that I feel like there's a hierarchy of oppression. And I think those hierarchies are kind of formed by other people trying to elevate themselves by pushing other people down, kind of like in a capitalistic manner. A lot of people in minority groups are trying to find a way to separate themselves from the people who are at the bottom. Now, it's obvious to me that I'm not saying all white men are great. However, when I look at a white man, I'm already expecting that. Then they show me different, and I'm like, okay. However, with another minority, a man in another minority, I could date you and I wouldn't even be able to tell that not only do you not like me, your family doesn't like me. All in all, if we had to compare people to apples and white men were apples, they are not gonna call themselves a lemon just because they're a Granny Smith apple. And this might fly over your head, but this is exactly what is going on.
The reason why men like Kenny can feel like they can get clout of black women is because they know that some black women will always over idolize interracial relationships. And sometimes we see that effect with certain islanders or reality TV when they see like a white man is interested in a black woman, then it's like, oh my god, their relationship is so beautiful, and the white man will normally be doing the bare minimum, but then certain black women will be idolizing these relationships just because it's a white man liking a black woman. And I think if we stop idolizing interracial relationships, it will just be seen as the norm. And so stuff like this, like certain people will not feel the need to use black women to as a token to, like, for clout. We see this with Olandra and Nick. Like, what?
Y'all chose not to see the signs because the signs were there. Mr. Voy a votar for Donald Trump. He followed Donald Trump. Hello. He brought back a woman from Casa talking about you needed to test the relationship. Test what? He was unsure about whether or not he wanted to move in with Janae because it would have been harder for him to scam. And he couldn't even do a proper apology. The apology was written by ChatGPT. At this point, cancel the whole show because who's a racist? Who's next?
I see a lot of people online saying, how can you be racist and be in a relationship with somebody for over a year? The same way you can be married to somebody for 20 years and be sexist. See, the thing is, you can be in a relationship with somebody and still understand the value that they possess, but view them as a commodity rather than a fully complicated human being. Look at Thomas Jefferson, for instance. He was an enslaver, but he got a teenage black girl pregnant over and over again. He understood the value of her, but he was racist. The whole institution of slavery understands the value of the black body, the value of black people, but views them as a commodity. And so what we're seeing here is the intersection where racism meets misogyny and sexism. As a high school coach and teacher, I tell my boys this all the time. Y'all actually don't like girls. And I'm not saying this to question your sexuality, but you don't see the value in women outside of what they can provide for you sexually. This is why even when I hear you guys talking about them, you don't even refer to them as girls or women. You refer to them by the organ, I can't say on TikTok because we can't get explicit, that you find the most useful that they have. So what we're saying is someone who does not like black people, but they still understand the intrinsic value that black people bring.
And now y'all trying to stereotype all interracial couples because of what Kenny did. But here's the thing. Truth be told, black men date black women knowing they hate black women. Black men are racist towards black women. Black men tear down black women. Like, it's the same thing with all men. Like, it's not a race thing. It's not just a color thing. It's just really not. Black men are just as colorist as any other race can be towards black women. You know, the common denominator is black women. We have it the worst when it comes to dating anybody. It does not matter what color you are. It don't matter if you're purple, blue, red, brown. It does not matter. So that's why it's important that you look at a person's character, their integrity, who they are from the inside. That's why something like Love's Island is not ideal to find love. Because at the end of the day, you do not know them people. You don't know them people. So are we really surprised what happened?
I don't know why anybody's surprised by the fact that racist men date black women all the time. If you look at the January 6th white supremacist rioters, a lot of them were sitting next to their black wives in court. I've seen this with people that I know that they have found out their entire time that their white boyfriend were saying racist stuff about them. I myself have had experiences where I've realized that a white guy I was talking to had like secret racist fantasies and like was generally like borderline racist. The key to this is to asking questions at the beginning, and if you see any signs, if you see just the smallest sign, run, because that man is racist. It's not about actually genuinely liking you, it's about having power over you. It's a power dynamic. We have seen this throughout history, and history only repeats itself. It wasn't until like 3 months into my situationship where this man started exposing who he really was, and he was racist as heck. So yeah, it's very, very common.
When Janae said she had seen all the theories of what everybody was saying for why they possibly broke up, and she said none of them was the truth and nothing could amount to that, she's right, because not a single one of us thought it was racism. Like, I did not see that coming. I don't think a lot of us saw that coming, and my heart absolutely breaks for Janae. The fact that she has to even deal with this publicly is just so sad, and the worst part, because no matter where she goes, people are going to look at her and just think about the situation, and that is so not fair to her. But for the past 48 hours, everyone's trying to figure out, what did Kenny do? What did Kenny do? Janae's best friend just posted this. She said, "My advice for women in relationships. If you have access, go through your man's phone today. Search keywords like, I don't like black women. I thought I would get more money from this. I'm faking this relationship. Going on the show would be for clout. I can't wait to be done with this so I can F hella bees." What? This is absolutely disgusting. But Janae girl, we are gonna ride for you, okay? So right now, take some time, heal. But just know you will bounce back from this, and this will not be your story. Like, it's one thing to fake a relationship like on the show, like so you can just stay in the villa. But once y'all left, why did you continue to be with this girl? For the opportunities? Because being with her basically kept your stock up? Like, it's disgusting. I'm sorry. Like, there's no other way to put this. Like, what? Like, on the latest episode of Beyond the Villa, Kenny was begging for that 9 to 5. Well, it's coming. Trust me, it's coming. Like, because no brand is gonna want to like even touch him.
So this Kenny and Jenna controversy actually sparked a conversation that I have been trying my possible best to explain for the longest of time. As you all know, my channel is not all about this relationship stuff, but anything that has to do with regencies and anti-blackness and how it's really need to be tackled. And that was exactly the reason why I got interested in this Jenny and controversy. Oftentimes I see a lot of people complaining about how black women and all of that, they don't want to give love a chance. And the thing is that when these women decided that they were going to give love a chance, they are being played, they are being used. There is this stereotype of women that looks like me, seeing them they have this stereotype of, oh, black women, oh, this wild, oh my god, aggressive and all of that. And this is just the way at which the world or the society want you to see people that look like me, especially black women. And now this lady in question, who happens to fall in love with a Dominican man, and this man knew deep inside of him that he is not the type of man that want to date a black woman or they want to date black person. Like, we all know, some of these Hispanic or Dominican people are not considering themselves to be black. The I know black, I Dominican. Okay. This man saw that, oh, okay, she's a black woman, so even if she's not my kind of person or the kind of woman I want to end up with, but with her criteria, I can use her to get to a certain level. How can you actually be in a relationship knowing fully well that you do not like this person? You are Ray and cis, and you do not like this person. And when I saw this stage, it really got me thinking so much. I've been stitching for a very long time, right? But anytime um there is this conversation about people in the interracial relationship being Ray and cis comes up, there are so many people that comes out to debunk this claim, claiming that somebody cannot be Ray and cis because they are married to a black person or they have, you know, maybe biracial kids. With that being said, I have seen so many biracial, children coming up and explaining how Ray and cis is either their mother who happens to be a pan colored woman is to them. There's this particular story which I came across on the space of the social platform. She's actually a biracial girl, and she was explaining how her white mother was so racist to her, and sometimes she kept asking her mom, if you are this racist, how or why did you now get married to my father? Why did you get married to my father? Why are you always, being the way at which you are? And she even goes as far as to talk about how she couldn't take it any longer, then she has to leave the house. This is coming from a biracial child. That is to tell you, even if somebody is Ray and cis, these people can also get married or be in a relationship with the people that they really despise. But my confusion is that if you are a Ray and cis, you despise this particular person, why not just make it known to this person than to waste this person's time? But then again, I thought of the way at which people use people's weakness. Like, it is so easy to say, oh, choose wisely and whatsoever, but how would you choose wisely when this person is all pretending? When this person is all, oh my god. And at the end of the day, you find out that this person, I also heard that this guy was, using slur on the girlfriend in a WhatsApp group, and you are with this person. Like, come off it. It is actually making me to see interracial relationships some kind of way. I am not saying that all interracial relationships are like this, but all I'm saying is that somebody can be married to a black person or have black children, but the person will still be Ray and cis. This person will still be Ray and cis. There are so many people debunking this, saying that, oh, this person cannot be Ray and cis. After all, he is or she is married to a black person, or after all, they have interracial or black children. You know, the world is really changing. The world has gotten to a level whereby the only person you have to trust is just yourself. And it's just so unfortunate and so heartbreaking that you can even be in a relationship and you wouldn't know that this person despises you. This person is just, oh my god. I feel I'm not someone that is into these, relationship stars and watching all these TV series, but when I was just going through my For You, I saw this popping up and I feel so bad for this young black queen. But anyways, it's better late than ever. And it's also a means of an eye opener to, black women. We should all, look beyond the physical. Because these guys, some of them, not all, because I know that there are so many responsible ones out there. Anyway, love this one, just leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. Please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We're just here for educational and informative purposes. See you when I upload the next one. Remember to click on the subscription button, like, and I will see you lovely when I upload the next one.